Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And welcome to Sofa Reviews. Today we're watching Hitman.
Released in 2007 and based on a video game of the same name, it's played by re-editing by the studio Fox.
After a dull opening showing children being trained to become killers, we're introduced to Agent Mike Whittier and our hero, Agent 47.
They have a brief chat before they flash back to 3 months earlier and narration.
Rumor has it that he works for a group known only as the Organization. Its sole purpose is the training and conditioning of professional killers.
We then see him easily kill a group of guys with a bomb he'd planted in someone's throat.
Mike explains his theory about Agent 47 being involved in this to the local police.
And these are just the ones we know about. Are you beginning to get the picture?
It then cuts to Agent 47 in St. Petersburg, going about his usual routine of putting his hands in ice, pouring marbles on the floor, and attaching an explosive device to his door.
He speaks to his contact Diana, who explains that his next target, the Russian President Belikov, needs to be killed publicly.
We then see the president chatting with the press before being easily assassinated.
Although soon after, his contact explains that a witness was there and needs to be taken out.
He goes to kill her only to discover he's been set up, but luckily he knows the old man is a shit shot and just strolls away.
Elsewhere, Mike discovers that the shot apparently missed Belikov, and that the Russian police have found Agent 47.
As the task was not completed.
No, he took a direct hit through the nasal cavity. I watched it myself.
The nasal cavity. In the middle of his forehead?
The police have surrounded the hotel, and Mike meets the Russian agent in charge of the operation.
I'm Chief Agent Yuri Markov of the FSB.
The FSB. Why the hell is the Russian secret police involved in this?
Well, any number of reasons really, but I imagine the assassination attempt on the president might have something to do with it.
Armed police burst into the room, setting off the bomb Agent 47 had planted before he jumps out of the window and swings into the room below.
He collects some pistols that he'd hidden in an icebox and easily kills off the armed police.
He's chased off by Mike before jumping into a nearby canal.
We had him.
You could just shoot at him. He's just below you.
Realising he's been set up, he decides to pursue Nika, hoping she might know what he's involved in.
She's only able to tell him that Belikov has body doubles, but because he likes her tattoo, he decides not to kill her.
They head to the train station before Agent 47 discovers the old guy that tried to kill him earlier.
He gives him the eye, luring him away to a secluded location.
Stay here.
After dealing with him, he goes onto a train, ending up in a Mexican standoff with 3 other hitmen.
Of course, this makes no sense when they switch to short swords, as it quickly becomes obvious that they're all there to kill 47.
47 heads back to find Nika before shooting Mike and Jenkins in order to escape.
And now for a quick lesson in seduction.
I was running out of oxygen in there.
Don't be dramatic.
Dramatic?
I got rid of the body.
I've been there for hours.
I brought you breakfast.
We're then told how Nika was sold to Belikov and beaten when she tried to escape.
Followed by another winning chat-up line.
Nika,
Yes?
stop talking or I'll put you back in the trunk.
They meet up with a CIA agent who explains the plot to them. Belikov was killed so that a double could replace him and act as a puppet president.
47 offers to kill Belikov's brother in exchange for a favour.
How's killing Andrei Belikov gonna help you?
Let me worry about that.
The next day, we see them having a meal at a restaurant in Istanbul.
Although this is just a cover, as he's planning to kill one of the guys there in order to take his place and infiltrate a meeting with Belikov's brother.
Quickly drags Nika out of the restaurant and back to the hotel, where she tries to seduce him.
And now she's ready.
Later, 47 meets Udre and they start a gun battle.
47 guns down several presumably evil people before Udre somehow manages to attack with 2 machine guns.
He manages to wound Udre with a grenade before asking for his help.
I do whatever you want. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Just this.
Now did you get that, or should I show you again?
47 heads back to Russia for Udre's funeral, stopping off on the way to kidnap Yuri.
At 2:30, that radio taped to your hand will activate. You'll have 30 seconds to order the shooting of your friend Belikov. If you don't, the generator will start.
Yuri gives the order, leaving Belikov to stare at the strange cracks appearing in his bulletproof glass.
Belikov is led away by his guards before 47 appears dressed as a soldier, killing his guards and dragging Belikov away.
He takes Belikov into a room where bizarrely assassin number 5 is waiting for him.
He rips off his ear before easily killing him.
Mike's here for some reason, and he quickly works out where 47 is.
He is in the southwest tower. Call in the gunships. Do not let him escape.
A gunship appears and opens fire on the tower, meaning it doesn't actually matter that Agent 47 killed Belikov.
Once the gunship leaves, 47 calmly sits in the remnants of Belikov and waits for Mike to show up and arrest him.
As they drive away, we discover what that favour was from the CIA agent.
We're transporting an international criminal.
What criminal?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You know what? I'm sorry, man. My mistake. I thought you were someone else.
You prick.
And so we cut back to the beginning with 47 chatting with Mike in his house before presenting Mike with his present of a corpse.
This is the man you've been looking for.
After leaving, we see him watching Nika as the film ends. In conclusion, I've got to say I really enjoyed this movie. It's nice that we have a hero that's actually competent for once. We see him pre-planning his escape route by booby-trapping a door and readying guns in an icebox. It's actually refreshing that we don't have a bumbling fuckwit who's inexplicably able to be the hero.
That is definitely a nice change of pace, but sadly most of the other characters are quite dull. Nika is at best irritating as the trophy whore kidnap victim who inevitably develops a crush on Agent 47, whilst Yuri is obviously a bad guy but actually quite boring.
Well, Mike from Interpol also seems very competent in his role as well. He sticks to his theory no matter what, even when people don't believe him, and he's driven to catch 47 throughout the whole thing, even when Yuri forces him to leave the country. It's also nice that the actor didn't choose to use a different accent and stuck with his own, as he could really act a lot better with it.
Although sadly Mike is actually pointless for most of the film, apart from his chat with 47 at the beginning and the end, and of course arresting him in Moscow, he may as well have not been there. All of the Interpol scenes are actually fairly worthless and if anything weaken the film, especially how easily they managed to work out that Belikov had a double.
This is from a speech he made in London on May the 7th. And this is from some shitty political luncheon he had in northern Georgia. Someone took a photo from a mobile phone. Look at the date.
May 7th. How's that possible?
I can't be sure.
Of course, it's also an action film, and in that regard, it's actually quite damn good. There wasn't a single fight scene in this film that I didn't enjoy. They're all very fast-paced, well-executed and brutal, but not gory.
Although that doesn't make up for the stupidity of the whole Mexican standoff, even though those three are clearly all there to kill 47. It just makes it quite jarring and annoying. It doesn't fit in with the film at all. It just feels like a random fight scene they threw in at the last minute to pad things out.
How about go fuck yourself?
Ultimately, this is an enjoyable, well-paced and aesthetically faithful adaptation of the video game.
This film is just violence, plot holes and tits.
You know you're really quite charming when you aren't killing people.